Aloha! How is everyone today? This is me, Ms. V from Aloha Health and Wellness. I help support women that are struggling with day-to-day pains and stresses and help them to incorporate a holistic practice in their day-to-day lives. So what I'm here for today is a lot of people are working from home and they're used to being in the corporate office. They're getting distracted, they're not sure how to work from home, and a lot of people are having input on what to do. So I'm going to hop on that train and piggyback off, but I'm going to do it in a little bit different way. Here's some things that people are not mentioning that are good for you, okay? One of the things that, now I was in a corporate office for God knows how many years, and working from home remotely, I hated. Like if there was a snowstorm, I think I worked harder and got more stressed out than if I was actually in the office. We had these huge, like 20-something inch dual screens on the computer, and now you're down to like this little laptop, right? And what I noticed was I would get very tense, right? I would put myself in a spot, and it wasn't the most ergonomic way of being, right? I would be like laying on my couch with the laptop or sitting on the couch with the laptop. I didn't have proper form posture, and having back issues, I was like, okay, I have a standing desk at the office. I do not have one at home. What can I use to have a standing desk? So these are some things that I think are really important, that if you're, for another couple weeks, you may be working at home. I want you to test these things out. First thing is I highly recommend having a remote wireless mouse. Very helpful when you're working on the laptop, okay? Another thing here is go to Amazon and do yourself a favor and get a standing desk for your laptop. And you can maneuver it in other different ways for you're sitting at your couch or if you're laying down, what have you. But it's the best thing since sliced bread. Once you get the spot right, it has a spot for your mouse, and it's great for your keyboard. It also gives you, it gives you more flexibility. You can do things, you can move your legs, you can kick them all over the place, and you could just take it and move the whole thing. If your kitchen table is where you have your office set up temporarily, just grab the whole thing, move it into another room, you're done. Just unplug or what have you. So I really like this. It's a laptop standing desk. Amazon, it's about maybe $20 to $30. It's worth it. And this one even has like a little fan on it so that if it gets too hot and it's summertime. Some other great little things you want to do is make sure you have your office set up, if you can, possibly, in a place where there's good sunlight. I have mine in my kitchen because I get that, there's always sunlight through there, and that makes you feel good. You don't feel claustrophobic. You don't feel like you're trapped inside and you can't see any light, right? Another thing that I will share for you too, that is when you have lunch, if you can and it's nice out, go have lunch outside. Get away from your desk. When you're in an office, you're so used to handing in papers to someone else, walking around socializing. So at least by taking a 15-minute break as if you would in your office a couple times a day, get yourself outside for lunch, get some fresh air in your lungs, get 20 minutes of sun. It's good for you, the vitamin D. This is another excuse to do it and get a little color in your face. Before tanning season starts, right? You feel better with a little color. And I'm going to piggyback on that little bit of color, ladies. One thing I noticed from transitioning from my corporate job to working at home is I was so used to putting on my mask, literally, to go to work, right? I would get up in the morning, take a shower, all that other stuff, and I would literally put on my makeup, and my makeup was my mask. Then you're not working, so you're kind of like, you go all natural or whatever. And then I found I just wasn't looking the way I wanted to look. I didn't feel as great. I didn't, I was missing something. So I incorporated a new routine that helped me to feel a little bit more, work-like, right? So I got myself like a little faux tan from Bare Minerals, right? It's called faux tan. It's a very light bronzer, and you just put a little bit of that on and some nice lip gloss, and you feel like, okay, I'm ready. I'm dressed. You know, you change your clothes, you get out of your pajamas, put on something that's comfortable, but you feel like you've changed into work mode, right? You're going somewhere, you're doing something. All right, so that's a little trick from me. Also, some other really great things too to incorporate are crystals, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they help protect you from the electromagnetic field stuff that you got going on, like all the energies. It's called EFS, I believe it is. I didn't look it up before I got hopped on here. But this keeps all the negative ions, the negative energies, from coming at and hurting your person, right? So there's a couple different crystals. You could either put it underneath, or if you're sitting down, put it across your keyboard. It serves as a defense. I'm going to actually go into a little bit about what crystals to have in my Facebook group, which is the hello everybody, thank you for popping on, which is the Women's Health and Spiritual Empowerment Community. I'll drop a link in there later, but I'm going to go in about what crystals that you should have underneath. Another thought is, get yourself a little bamboo plant, right? Or a, what do you call it? A money tree. I have one over here. I can show it to you, what it looks like. Everybody seems to know what the bamboo tree looks like, but this is said money tree. Great to help you with abundance and also some fresh air, right? So I have my crystals, I got my laptop, I got my mouse. Now, around 3 o'clock, right, which is probably around now, you're tired. You need a little pick-me-up, right? So your pick-me-up, I'm going to tell you, essential oils, people. My favorite mix is wild orange and some peppermint. What you do with that, you could do it however you want, but put it on your hands. Go like this. Inhale it. The peppermint wakes you up, and it gives you a little energy boost. You can put it behind your neck. You can put it on your wrists, whatever. That is so, so helpful. Another thing that's helpful, that's also my other favorite, is this aura spray. You can spray that in the air. We'll get one that's working. Yeah, little aura spray. Cleanses the area. Also a pick-me-up for the senses. And you know me, I always have toys on my desk, so I have said toys in different places. And even little affirmation things, right? So these are just little things that you can do. Now, if you're going to be standing, what I recommend is most women nowadays seem to have the kitchen mat. I'll grab mine for you here. It's it's an anti-stress mat. You can use that to stand on so you're comfortable instead of wearing shoes or sneakers or something, or bare feet. This at least gives some support to your spine. And so I would suggest, I was doing that before I had, I got this really high-tech mat that I can actually do a lot of different things with. But these are my suggestions. I hope they're helpful. And I just want to say thank you for being here. And I did go outside for lunch today. I got a little bit of color. So very happy about that. If you have any other questions about what I went over today, you're interested in finding out what crystals that you should have at your office desk at home, pop over, like I said, to my community, the Women's Health and Spiritual Empowerment Community. I'll drop the link. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Take care. Mahalo.